Yeah.
Let's move on to the part where Ethan gets roasted.
Dungeon debate.
Yes.
I'll stop here. So
I feel like we're gonna copyright it. Yeah. For just humming the
That's
Mortal
why.
Kombat theme.
That is why I said I'll stop here so we don't get sued.
Yes.
Yes. So today's dungeon debate. In the right corner, there is something that makes every character very unique. On the left corner, the big and the bold makes every character stronger and well adapt.
So every player and character has to come to a decision on whether they want to take a feat or an ability score improvement.
Mm-hmm.
And so we will be debating which one is better.
Fight.
I will be defending feats.
And I will be defending ability score improvements, because that's how you improve your character.
It's one way. It's a boring way, but go ahead. So would you like to give your synopsis?
So generally, I am a basic man at nature. I am a bear. All I do is eat berries and sleep. Right?
True.
But I would want to increase my ability to look for those berries, right? So I would put my 2 points in ability checks into my wisdom, right?
Okay.
Or maybe I want to be charismatic. I can put it 1 into wisdom, 1 into charisma. Maybe I want to be stronger, 1 into wisdom, 1 into strength.
Sure.
Improving your ability scores means you're better at the game. Literally, it's improving your character. It's improving your ability to play the game well.
Yes.
And your way to achieve victory at all costs. And you might think, well, you just improve your wisdom. Well, that wisdom improves 9 other things. So you just become better in a whole part of the game.
Yeah.
In multiple forms of situations. And that's kind of literally the only thing that ability score improvements do. So that's kind of like my last verdict as well, because that,
right. So your argument.
My argument is, if you want to be, well, I wouldn't say good, but if you want to be very strong in the game and overpowered, you should delve into ability score improvements. Feats are really cool, very unique.
I'll get into feats.
Yeah, but ability score improvements just improve a lot of things.
Yeah. So. Okay. So you made claims about how ability score improvements improve your character, and that is true. Mm-hmm. Now, feats also do that. So if you want, you're improving your character either way. So what I really see ability score improvements, at least what they're my most generous point to you is that they are very broad, and so they do affect a lot of things, but they are broad, and so nothing in particular becomes especially good. You just kind of increase in a general sense,
which is very good, though.
Which can be good. But feats, on the other hand, improve a specific thing way more than an ability score would, right? So if you increase your strength, you are better at grappling now by a little bit. But if you take the grappling feat, the grappler feat, you're now way better at grappling. And that's true for anything you could take, right? If you want to search for berries, you could get a feat for perception, right? And you're going to make searching for berries extremely proficient.
But then I'm not going to be good at talking with the other bears.
You just won't be as good, but you'll be really good at one thing. And so it really comes down to the character and what you want to make with it, but you're getting better either way. You're either taking the general route of just a little bit better at more stuff, or really good at one thing. And so do you want to be a jack of all trades, sort of, or do you want to be a specialist? Exactly. And both of those are good in different ways, and it's
really up to you to decide. I will say, I know this.
But this debate is not over. You think I was going to end with this being a
tie? A tie? What do you mean? Literally, my entire thing is that, yes, you only do a broad term, but if you keep doing that, you're going to become very strong by the end. You're going to be stronger than the specialist.
Feats, right? Some feats are borderline broken. Warcaster. That's if you're a mage with Warcaster, you're way stronger. You know what Warcaster does?
Sort of. Do you want to tell the viewers what it does?
I brought it up, and now I'm doubting whether I know what it is. But I'm pretty sure
you doubt your stuff.
I'm pretty sure it allows you to use magic for opportunity attacks.
Yikes.
So you could just literally roast someone just because they leave your
Someone tries to flee. Finger of
fire
death.
hand.
Yeah, exactly.
Finger of death.
So that's very powerful. And so, like, although that doesn't make your general spellcasting better, if you are now, you have this very OP ability now that other people don't have, right? And that's kind of the power of feats. And so there's benefit to each. So right now we're kind of looking at a tie in terms of which one is the best optimized to give you the most benefit. But I will say lower levels are better for ability score improvements, and then feats are better for higher levels. But I think the cutoff is pretty quick. So I think most cases the feat is the better option. That's what I would argue. I don't know. I can't say what level. It depends on the class.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, the thing is, sometimes in D&D, you roll that dice that means life or death, and you get screwed over by that one. You miss it by one, and the game just says, frick you. And you might have wished, like, man, I really wish I had that extra 1 to Constitution. And that's where when you upgrade your feats, like, yes, you don't become an extremist and everything, but if you're good generally overall, that's like a better team player than the extremist person that's good at grappling. If that grappler gets, like, a boulder falls on him, like the guy who's well more rounded has a greater chance of getting rid of that situation.
Well, that's not necessarily true.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, you will increase. Let's say you increase your strength. If you might be, you're going to be a little bit better at strength, but that might not be enough to actually help the person. But if you just happen to specialize in this thing, you will be able to help because it's your thing. So, like.
But what if it's not your thing, though?
But what if it's not, what if you're not close, and what if the ability score is not enough to make you good enough? Because at maximum, it's only going to increase your score by 1. And that's not a ton.
No, you can do 2. You got 2 points.
Yeah, but but for, the modifier goes up every 2. It doesn't go up every 1.
But still, getting a +1 is still very big, though. That's going to make success and failures. That's going to change. That's going to give you a lot more advantage. Because,
it will.
Yeah.
But the feat, there's a million feats to choose from, right? If you can pick one suited for your character that change the game, that will make you so much better at what you're trying to do. You know what I mean? Like again, the grappling example. If you are a big character that wants to grapple in combat, it doesn't help you to just get a little bit better in strength. If you pick grapple feat, you can now really roast them with your strategy. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah,
and you can pick whatever feat is best for you.
But I mean, that's also for grappling. But like, it's like your ability score improvement's not just your ability scores. That also increases your saving throws, which can become utterly broken with a plus like 12 to anything, or your attacks and your defense. Well, not defense, but your attacks and your damage output goes skyrockets. And even your spell casting modifier and your ability, it makes it so some of your spells are harder to resist and deal a lot more damage. So
Yeah.
like I understand that feats
But
like
it
if you
helps
want to
all
switch.
those things by a little bit as opposed to helping one thing by a lot. So I think we're kind of saying the same thing. So it's like specialist versus jack of all trades. But can we really say which one's better? It just depends, right?
Well, the jack of all trades is better
Why is that better?
because balance is better. The universe.
It's
is all
called
about
jack of all
balance.
trades, master of none. Ever heard of that? It means you're just a little bit good of everything, which means you're not good at anything. You're not bad at anything. You're not good at anything. Period.
I mean, there's nothing. Yeah, exactly. You're not bad at anything. But if you're a master of something, that means you're super good at one thing, but you're jack horrible at a lot of other things.
But typically, specialists succeed in the end. Like not just in real life, but in like if you have a wizard who also dabbles a little bit in melee fighting, but also dabbles a little bit in magic, it's like that's not.
I mean,
good.
that's also called.
But
an
if you have a
Eldritch
wizard that's
Knight.
well, they just dabble a tiny bit in magic. But let's say they were like truly balanced. Like let's say you multi-classed, right? You were a fighter and a wizard, 10-10 or half and half. That's not as good, right? It just isn't.
Well, I mean that's also getting into the stats of the actual game.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is if you were to pull up with a level 20 wizard versus a level 10 fire, level 10 wizard, right? The expert is gonna have access to these shit. It's the knowledge is exponential. The wizard's gonna roast.
Right, but that has nothing to do between feats and the. We're talking about that stuff. You're just talking about how an extremist would be better than the broad, balance. We're talking about like in the actual game.
Well, I am talking about the game. So let's say you increase your scores and you're like pretty good at everything. And then you go up against someone who has like all these very good feats together. So then they're gonna run up to you, grapple you, use another feat to like inflict a bunch of damage, and then like kill you.
Well, but what a bunch of damage?
Well, there's just a bunch of feet.
Actually,
there's a feat that adds plus 10 to your longsword hit. Like bam.
That is not a feat. Plus 10. That's literally insane.
Pretty sure.
No.
There's feats for everything.
No.
There's so many feats.
There's no way that's a feat. That's literally insane. Do you know how broken that is? Plus 10.
There's so many broken feats.
Feats are so powerful. But
all
no.
Right, well, I don't think we can really say whether specializing or a general improvement.
If you're talking about
better.
average damage output, then you should ability score improvement makes all your stuff. Your damage output.
Yes, but only by a little bit.
Not just a little bit.
Yes, a little bit. It's the literal minimum amount. It could not be lower.
Well, no, that's still enough though. Like
it's a tiny bit. But if you specialize, you're gonna have. We've been over this. We've already covered this ground. Whatever. I think what breaks the tie here is I think this is what really just puts feats over the edge. Is that feats are more fun and interesting. So you can say, okay, I have a little bit higher number now. But a feat, it's like I got this new ability that I can do all these unique things with. Speaking of unique, it's a way to make your character way more unique, right? Because you know what I'm saying? If you put a feat on someone, they have this unique ability that no other class has, no other character even has, unless they take that feat as well, which is not likely. So, I mean, it's just the game is about like having a character and feeling unique and exploring this character. Feats are the best way to do that.
Well, I mean, yeah, but also your character might be cool and all, but if you suck...
Well, you pick good feats that go good with your character.
But I mean,
or not.
I mean,
but it's up to
maybe
you.
you're put in a situation where your feats mean utter uselessness.
Sure,
like
being like one
in a lot of things, you might be useless in a feat.
Yes, but let's say you pick a feat instead of take the +2 to something. Having that extra 1 modifier isn't a big difference. But this big feat kind of is cool. It's at least cool.
But the +1 is.
But you would normally pick feats that you can actually use, and that would go good with you, right? Like the crossbow expert, right? That's a big difference.
That feat is freaking broken. It's just
exactly. But like, so if you use a crossbow, what would you rather have? A little bit better to your dex, or would you rather have that feat? That feat will be better for you, and there will be a feat for anything you want, like that.
I mean,
pretty much. Yeah. And even if it's similar, even if you can't balance which one's better, feats are at least cooler. So.
You really think?
Boom.
I mean,
I'm gonna take this mic and drop.
I think just having a bigger bicep muscle is cooler than you doing a little dumb sword
by like
tricks.
a centimeter.
I think I'm still cooler. All right. Well.
All right.
This is stupid. This is stupid. Literally, I'm such a freaking disadvantage. Basically, in the broad term,
feet for debate.
All right.
All right. Well, if that's all you got, then that's the end of the dungeon debate.
God dang it!
Boom.
Like this time this was such a
flawless victory.
It wasn't flawless. God damn it. So basically, the gist is, if you want to be better at a bunch of skills that you will use in the entire game, literally all of them, then you should make your ability score better.
Yeah.
If you want to be good at the game. But if you want to be a loser, and you might think like, oh, I'll just sing a little bit, but then the devil's like, nah, you're gonna die. You might be better at singing, you might be expert at that, but yet you're gonna die. Then join this fool over here and get a feat. But if you want to be cool like me, be cool at everything. You might not be the very best, but you're at least cool. People respect you. Be with me, the bear. Boom. I'll drop that mic. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, I'm just gonna
What
leave
about
it
that?
at that.
What about that?
I think my previous words speak for themselves. All right. Well, you guys decide. It's not up to us. It's up to you guys. So tell us wherever you can find us, whether you think the Owl of the Bear is right about this one, whether you think feats or ability score improvements are better in Dungeons and Dragons.
We'll see you on the next episode. Peace out.
Peace.